on the line, and he wants to talk about UFOs. Todd, if I see something, I've seen lots of stuff on the screen. It's the first UFO, so I'm just going to interrupt my preamble here and get right to the chase. How are you tonight?
Good, and yourself?
Very well. What's on your mind?
Oh, thanks for taking my call, by the way.
Listen, you just jumped to the top of the line with a topic like that.
Awesome. Good to hear. I wanted to call about a video that I've seen on YouTube about Paul Hellyer. He's a retired Minister of National Defense of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he, quote unquote, said, UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. And he also said that he is the first person of cabinet rank in the G8 group of countries to say so unequivocally. And then he goes on to talk about how in the 1960s, a flotilla of UFOs headed south, crossed into NATO territory in Europe. And then after an investigation done, a document concluded that at least 4 species had been visiting Earth. And he goes on for about 25 minutes, and this is all in a House of Parliament, and there's all different officials around, and he is speaking from his heart. And I thought that everybody should look it up on YouTube and take a look for himself. I mean, I'm just paraphrasing, basically, but I also noticed that he was talking about one species in particular called the tall whites, which is, I also noticed, was on Weird or What with William Shatner. I don't know if you've seen that show before.
I have, so I'm familiar with it, yes.
Yes. Well, they did a whole show on that as well, talking about a couple of people that were in the American Air Force back in the 60s and 70s and their experiences with these particular beings, and how apparently 2 particular species are working with the U.S. And he said he is looking for full disclosure, because he says that at the end of this decade, if we don't stop global warming, it will be beyond the point of no return.
And so tell me about this YouTube link. How did you find it, and where might I be able to have a little look? Can you email it to me, or can you send it to me via Twitter?
Yeah, I'll definitely do it as soon as I get off the phone.
Yeah.
But anybody just look up Paul Hellyer. He was a member of Parliament for 23 and a half years, and he's also got a book out. I wrote it down here. He got a book out called Light at the End of the Tunnel, A Survival Plan for the Human Species.
What's your opinion of this, Todd? Before you've actually heard this guy speak today, is this something that your mind was open to, the possibility of extraterrestrial life?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 32 years old, and I'm online all the time just researching different things, different sources, and there is so many different, there's millions and millions of sightings. There's actually videos of different UFOs, now whether it's real or not, but if 1% of those videos are real, then, I mean, that's something, right?
So this is, and he is actually speaking, does he know he's being recorded here during this YouTube video?
Oh my God, it's just as real as you're watching Channel 9 down at St. John's, and you see the mayor talking. It's exactly just like that, but on a bigger platform.
And but is it in a House of Parliament that he's actually speaking?
Yes, this was in 2012, and he said we're already two years into this decade, and he said if we don't do this by the end of the decade, he fears that it'll be at a no-return plateau point, and we won't be able to turn back.
Where is he from specifically?
Ontario, I believe.
Ontario.
Yep.
Well, I'll definitely be. You should send that to me, and I will tweet that out and let the listeners and the Twitterites have a little peek at. A peek at that. So obviously you were quite surprised by it, and it's something your mind is open to something like this, and this is just more an evidence actually to say that. So you believe that a lot of this information has been covered up by government.
Yeah, well, he actually gets into that. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for people. They're better off seeing it themselves. But he says that the Three Sisters, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Builderbergers, and the Trilateral Commission basically make up the shadow government, including with the big oil cartel and members of various intelligence agencies and select members of the military. That's his words. How
do you think that then, if this is actually going on, how is it possible that this has been kept a secret for so long?
Well, if you think about it, if they have advanced technology, and plus if you think about it, I'm not trashing your media or anybody else, but I mean, these corporations and these higher elites, they control what goes on in the media, so I mean, it's actually quite easy when you think about it. And he explains how that is possible as well, and it totally makes sense if you know, if you look at other stuff.
Well.
Yeah, I know, right? When I seen it, I was like, you know, as an avid researcher, this is something, you know, it's one of the topics that I like and I look into because it's, you know, out of this world. But hearing someone of his stature actually come out and say this, like he was saying that we need to end oil, and he said that clean energy technology does exist, but it's being controlled by, quote unquote, he said, the Cabal. And then he mentioned the three sisters, like I said, Council on Foreign Relations, Builderbergers, and Trilateral Commission. And he's saying that these guys are just trying to make as much money as they can, and he said governments seem to be just kind of ignoring it and just wanting to make more money, while global warming is obviously a threat.
Well, Todd, there you have it. That just takes this show and starts it off in a direction that I never imagined it going. But you please send me that link to that YouTube video. I will share it out for people to have a look at it, and we can all see exactly what is being said. Thanks for this, Todd. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Call anytime, bud.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. The unidentified flying object, folks. That's it. There is, they are among us. Dave. You know, he looks a little different than he did last week. I don't know, there's something little, his eyes look a little deader than they normally are. We have a ghost, a monster in the machine, people. We're going to go to a quick break. Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk with St. John's lawyer, Aaron Breen, about mental illness and the courts. Back in 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail.
Call now, 273-5211 or 1-888-590-VOCM, 1-888-590-8626. Nightline will return on the VOCM CFCB Big Land FM radio network.